Hey everyone. In this video, I want to talk to you about how being a good person is incredibly difficult. And knowing that, I have a ton of respect for people who choose to be good, because the easy route in life is to basically do the bare minimum, to not really focus on your self-growth, to not really focus on becoming a better human being. And usually that means people who put in that bare minimum effort, they're not really taking the time to learn how to control and master their emotions. And they don't really care about others all that much because they're going to be more focused on themselves. When humans are left to their own devices in nature, we usually are pretty self-centered. And it makes sense, right? Because it's an instinctual thing. It helps us survive. It's a lot harder to survive if you're constantly placing your focus on other things besides yourself, because then you can neglect yourself. You can let your health falter, you can let yourself become dehydrated, or you can start skipping meals. If you're constantly focused on other people and not yourself, yeah, it's not the best thing for your own survival. But now we live in these vast societies, so we can get away with not really focusing on ourselves as much because it's a lot easier to survive now by not necessarily turning inward all the time and always being focused on your own survival. But it is a healthy balance, of course. So what I'm getting at is good people are able to manage this balance well. They're able to focus on their own self-care and then focus on others as well. But it takes a lot of effort to be that way because by default, humans are selfish. I mean, we all know that, right? Like, it's probably even in the Bible. I've never read the Bible, just never cared, but I'm sure it's in religious teachings to tell you, hey, you shouldn't be selfish. It's a bad thing because that's in our nature. So we have to be told to go against it. So there you go. By default, people aren't exactly good. They're going to be so self-absorbed that they won't care how their actions affect others. They won't care about the emotions of others. And with that, they're way more likely to be mean and cruel to others without caring at all. So there you have it. It is very difficult to be a good person because you have to work on yourself enough to start going against your own nature. Like that tendency to be self-absorbed and to only focus on your own survival. So yeah, I have a ton of respect and admiration for anyone out there. If you're watching this, I imagine you're probably a good person. So like, guys, seriously, pat yourselves on the back because you're making the world a better place slowly but surely. And I truly do believe that. I know at times it feels like we aren't. I mean, I've been or tried to be a good person my whole life. And I've certainly had times where I get stepped on and people mistreat me, people take me for granted, and people play with my emotions and end up hurting me. I've experienced it all. And I'm sure a lot of you have as well. So knowing that didn't stop you from wanting to be good, like seriously guys, give yourselves so much credit for that because it's really important. Like choosing to be good, you really are doing God's work in a way. And while I don't necessarily believe in a God, I believe in like the universe or something like that, I truly do believe whatever that entity is, whatever you want to label it, probably would want us to be kind to our fellow human beings and to treat them with love and respect. Although that is very difficult to do. I'm not even on the level of being such a good person that I can literally say I love strangers. I'm not there yet, but some people are, and I find that incredibly fascinating. It's like one of the most beautiful things a human can aspire to genuinely love everyone on the planet. I mean, you hear people talk about how we're all one at the end of the day, and I do believe that because we all came from this universe. We all came from whatever event created everything. So in a way, we're all connected because of that, because the building blocks that have made everything that we see when we look around, including ourselves, we all came from those same building blocks at one point. So I truly do believe we're all connected. But even I haven't put in the level of inner work needed to be able to say that I can look around at strangers and say that I love them for being my fellow human beings. So yeah, it's really difficult to be a good person. So I basically just wanted to make this video to remind yourselves of how great you are if you're on this journey, because not many people do it. By default, the easiest thing to do is just be mean and cruel. So if you aren't like that, you are special, you are awesome, and you really need to remind yourself of that more often. And don't give in to people who mistreat you. Don't make them allow you to become cruel and rude or to make you close yourself off from the world. I mean, believe me, like I said, I've had really bad experiences. I've opened my heart up to women and then have them just basically grab it in their hand and go right in front of me, and I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Believe me, I've experienced that, and I know that there is that tendency to want to protect yourself and become a bit more mean to others. And for us guys, there is a lot of evidence out there to suggest that if a woman is insecure about herself, being a bad guy, treating her horribly will often make her like you more because she doesn't even respect herself. But look, man, don't give in to that, because one, you're only going to attract insecure women by doing that. You're never going to be able to attract the best woman out there because they're not going to tolerate that. But two, you'd be becoming something that you probably don't want to become. You don't want to be a bad guy like that. There are good qualities in bad guys, so you should take those good qualities from them, like the confidence and not caring what other people think of them, that sort of thing. And make sure you don't absorb the bad qualities, because they're not worth mirroring or emulating, should I say. So just never make it so that bad people make you want to become bad yourself. Just stay good as much as you can. I know it takes a lot of work, guys. Believe me, I get it. It takes a lot of work. Like I said, I've had those moments where I think about whether or not it's worth it. I've had those moments. I know it's difficult, but I truly do believe it's the right thing to do. Just never letting the world crush you, never letting other people crush you, especially for this reason. The people who make you want to feel like becoming a bad person yourself and being cruel to others, those people are not good people themselves. So if you allow them to influence you to give up on being good yourself, you're allowing someone who isn't even worth emulating to basically influence you into the wrong direction. It's just, I know it's difficult, but resist that urge as much as possible. So at this point, if I keep talking, I'll probably start rambling, so I'll end the video here, but I truly hope you guys realize that you really should give yourself more credit for being a good person, because it is not the easy route to take. Like, wear it as a badge of honor. Like, honestly, you should. You really should. You should think of yourself as being a step above others for actually wanting to be good. Like, for real. Don't become arrogant with it, of course, but you don't need to be so humble that you think it's like not worth admiring or celebrating, because it is. It really freaking is. You look out there in the world, and our human nature on a base level is not good. Like, we have a tendency to destroy each other and just it's really bad. Like, that self-centeredness creates a lot of issues. So if you're not giving into those tendencies, to that potential for darkness, that's a really good thing. But at the same time, you probably should be able to tap into that side if needed to defend people you care about, but just don't let that side of you control you. Anyway, I'm making this video get on way too long. There's so many tangents I could jump off to from here, so many different subjects, but I'll save them for other videos. So I truly hope you enjoyed this video. If you like content like this, be sure to subscribe for more. Otherwise, like the video and leave a comment. The comment doesn't have to relate to the video, but I am curious what you guys have to say about this topic. And I mean, seriously, guys, give yourselves a pat on the back if you choose and strive to be a good person. Like, seriously, you deserve it. But anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Arrivederci!